Joe Siracusa in Perth, Australia. He's an author and Dean of Global Futures at Curtin University. Really good to have you back with us, Professor. Let's start with this very unfortunate start to DeSantis' campaign launch on Twitter. Was that a mistake? DeSantis really trying to shake things up by eschewing a television debut and moving on to Twitter instead?
I think it was a very good, very clever move, Oscar, to identify him with Musk's Twitter. I mean, Trump has been invited back onto the accounts, but he's not going there yet. So, he shows that he's a different kind of an animal and that he doesn't need Fox Television or Rupert Murdoch to launch his career. I mean, he's doing it with another kind of a populace. In a sense, that's interesting. The meltdown, of course, is unfortunate. But, as your package shows, it kind of melted down because there were too many people trying to get on. Well, I wish my life were like that. Too many people trying to listen at once. It's not my problem. I just have glitches. But the point is, he's a very formidable opponent. And while he's behind in the polls, he's got a long way to go. And, by the time the primaries come around, Donald Trump might even be in a prison cell. Who knows?
Well, that is the big question, isn't it? Because Trump, for a while, was trailing in the opinion polls, and it seems like his clashes with various authorities and his indictment in New York really has set a fire in terms of his popularity here. How big of a threat is Ron DeSantis to Trump at this point?
I'd say he's a very, very big threat, as a matter of fact. Look, Trump was in television. He was very famous for a while. He knows the shelf life. He knows how much you can get away with or not get away with. And after a while, people just get tired of it. The important thing your viewers ought to think about is where DeSantis sits in foreign policy. The foreign policy of the Republican establishment would like to see him come back to supporting America's NATO commitments and that kind of thing, get away from the isolationist or neo-isolationist views of President Trump, and to become a more of an internationalist, the traditional part of the wing of the Republican Party. But DeSantis has showed that he's mainly interested in American interests, assets, friends, and overseas trading, things like that. If we're up to DeSantis, he'd probably close the war down on Ukraine on Monday morning. He'd be very fussy about America's aid to go to people in the event of war. I mean, he would just rethink American foreign policy. He's not as far, he's not as central as the establishment would like him to be. And the isolationists in the party, that is those who want to go into the world on their own terms, they don't like him. So I think on the larger issue, which we don't talk about, Ron DeSantis would be a revolution in the Republican Party. They would offer the way back to responsible international global citizenship.
One of the significant differences between Trump and DeSantis is that DeSantis isn't facing criminal charges of any sort. No one has sued him for rape in a civil court. He's not facing any challenges from other authorities across the state. Could DeSantis be perhaps the safer option when compared to Trump?
Yeah, I think so. Look, Oscar, I know a lot of Americans who vote for Donald Trump and a lot of Americans who would like to vote for Donald Trump, and he's just got too much baggage. He has said too many things about too many people. And, and if he's not actually in court and he's sued people, I think, 4,000 times, he's insulted nearly everybody else. At the end of the day, you could only insult so many people before you run out of friends and donors and the like. And, Murdoch's abandoned him. A number of his donors have abandoned him. Trump thinks that the people will rally around him. Well, he tried that on January 6, 2022, and that didn't work out so well either.
Okay, Professor Joe Siracusa, we'll have to leave it there, but always good to get your analysis. Thanks again for joining us.
Okay, thank you.